What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 57 of my Total Warhammer 3 Ikit Claw Immortal Empires campaign. Now, I wanted to get this episode out yesterday, but unfortunately when I got home from seeing my family, I was a little bit too tired, so I couldn't do my episodes that day. So I guess we're doing them today, but damn, does it seem like traveling's gotten harder lately? It seems like the companies aren't trying anymore, though I suppose who could blame them? Anyway, now we have taken out a decent amount of the enemy spawned dwarfs and a little bit of the orcs via ambushes here. So Hearn, Norn, and Ziflin are each down to 2 armies via ambushes, and we haven't suffered all that much damage for doing so. So I'm pretty happy with regards to that, though unfortunately we have not yet gotten a chance to try out Mutan's army, so I guess we can start with this and see if he can finally succeed in an ambush. And no dice. No dice for Mutant. Well, he's definitely not fighting 4 armies. If they were staggered in terms of reinforcements, like 3 minutes apart each, then yeah, but not like this. Man, I fear that Mutant might actually have to defend. He'd be really strong in an ambush too. Like, this is an ideal army for an ambush almost. Oh well. Who should we try out next? I mean, Ikit can go, and Ikit's ambush success or lack thereof doesn't really matter. I feel like, wait, it's been a while since we fought with Queek. We could try with Queek again, and depending on what we're looking at here. So, you have a pair of flame cannons, and you have... oh wow, you have a lot of artillery. Huh. If we were to run directly at these artillery, it would be good, though... Yeah, there's actually a ton of ranged units. You know what? I kind of like this one. I kind of like that. Although on this one, if we were to ambush this one, there's a lot of melee units, and obviously our plague claws would be able to take them out quite easily. This one, we'd actually have to commit a lot of our melee troops to essentially stopping all of this from doing anything. Whereas this one, we could just kick back and kill those flame cannons and stuff. Now, you know what? Let's try this guy first. It's less of a risk where we don't have to commit any melee units. And Queek, you got your ambush. Alright, looks like round 2 for Queek, and we actually have our settlement garrison here as well. So Karak Zorn, or Karak Azul rather, is in a surprisingly bad position in that their spawns are always near the garrison. Well, that works quite nicely in my opinion. Let's get to fighting, and I'm just wondering, did the Clan Angrand settlement also draw out its garrison? Because if it did, maybe it would be worth fighting multiple stacks at once. I'm gonna double check that later. But anyway, for now, it's time for Queek to take out another army. Alright, here we go again. This time we're gonna try to get Queek to actually duel the enemy lord properly without any interference. But obviously, once again, this is an ambush, and it is up to the plague claws to do as much damage as they can. The main focus is, of course, going to be those 2 flame cannons that are back here. Fortunately, they don't have the necessary range to hit us back, or at least they don't have the range to hit back our artillery at their current position, because they're relatively short range, though the clan rats and possibly the storm vermin are still in danger here. That said, and not for very long, as though we have begun attacking the enemy flame cannons with our plague claws, the 2 chieftains should be able to finish the job. Once again, we've done the same thing where we've deployed a contingent over in this copse of trees, which does really help out, and deployed our main line here. Queek is also running around the enemy, heading off their escape essentially, and especially trying to get that duel with the Lord going. Man, I gotta say, this is definitely one of the superior maps to be ambushing an enemy on. You have so many advantages with high cliffs here if you wanted to deploy up here. Like if we had an army with warp fire throwers, just get a few warp fire throwers down here, rattling guns behind them, enemy can't run through, and it's perfect. And then the same thing going on here. Once again, the trees, the massive hills, it's really nice. Not all ambush maps are created equal, I suppose. Like, imagine Ikit doesn't really care about the map as much, but imagine if it was imagine if it was Ikit on this map. The map he's been getting isn't anywhere near as good as this one. But anyway, here we go. Queek's moving in to fight the enemy Dwarf Lord. We've got pretty damn nice stats. 110 melee attack with the Dwarf Gouger active, and 76 melee defense with stand or die. Nearly 800 weapon strength as well, and he hasn't actually gone into his red line yet. So, or not his red line, his yellow line yet. So his buffs are not personally that high. They will get much higher. Plus, he'll have the ability to apply his own debuff to the enemy, which will be quite nice as well. And speaking of, let's see, the enemy lord is at, well, he has only lost about 15% or 20% of HP, but Queek is more or less fine. In the meantime, it looks like the flame cannons have been stopped, but it also looks like we're going to have to commit some troops. The clan rats have moved in to try to annoy the enemy rangers with great weapons here, and we do have to watch out for the enemy miners chucking their blasting charges, which is why we're going to move our chieftains in specifically to block them. Now, the enemy are getting some use out of several range units though, so while we will continue bombarding them, we're also going to start moving out a few of our units. Some Trollhammer torpedoes firing into the clan rat spears, which is kind of a waste, but nonetheless we are going to stop them with the menace below, tie them up, and wait for the storm vermin and clan rats to get there. Queek has been doing a number on the enemy lord as well, who is now down to maybe 35% or 40% HP, and though the enemy is closing in with a bunch of hammers, 4 units of hammers heading towards Queek. We gotta kill this lord and then get the heck out of here. One more hit. And damn, Queek's quite a bit bigger than the dwarfs, isn't he? Alright, nearly there, and there we go. The Lord is now broken. Queek's gonna get the heck out of here. He may be bigger, but he is also much faster than the dwarf, so we're not all that worried about the hammers catching him, as long as he can actually get out of the press. We'll also keep Queek near here, because if the enemy lord does come back and he is broken, not shattered, Queek can hopefully chase him down. And this is why I was thinking it might be beneficial to put that banner of Verminous scurrying on Queek, just to have that extra movement speed so that he could run a lot faster. And yeah, and deceleration and acceleration plus 200% also quite helpful. He's fairly quick. He's Queek. Anyway, the rest of our battle line is actually engaged this time around, unlike the other time, so we're actually getting some fights with our troops. Trollhammer torpedoes being surrounded by the summoned clan rats as well as the regular clan rats. We've got storm vermin and clan rats fighting here against some enemy iron breakers, which might take some effort. And the same thing going on over here with a bunch of clan rats and storm vermin working together with the 2 chieftains to try to surround and kill as many enemy ranged units and otherwise as possible. There is still a unit of Bugman's Rangers fighting, but it looks like most of the enemy range units have either been tied up or taken care of. A Warp Lightning comes down into the middle of an enemy blob of miners, hoping to just delete them before they can get off any shots with their remaining satchel charges. Oh, and it looks like the enemy lord is here. I don't know if we can catch him or not, but he's gonna give it a try. Well, you keep trying to catch him, buddy. Though that's not obviously as interesting as we've already seen their little duel. Still a few enemy units milling around in the background, though it looks like the biggest hurdle is going to be dealing with these 2 hammer units and that 1 iron drake unit that are currently engaged with the storm vermin, so this is probably what we should watch. A warp lightning right in the middle of those hammers wouldn't go amiss, though. Yeah, and I'm enjoying this particular battle in part because we've actually engaged with our melee. A little bit more fun, and there's the Clan Skryre Clanstone, which heralds the Warp Lightning, which is going to come down into those hammers. There we go, and that should have very badly damaged them. Looks like both of these units are wavering, extremely badly beat up, and I think that the rest of the army should chain route shortly. And they were still unable to commit 3 or 4 units because of them just running around trying to dodge Plague Claw shots. It does almost feel a little bit weird. I thought that they changed the behavior of the AI in one of the recent patches with regards to how they behave when they get bombarded. But it still feels like the AI just runs around and a few units remain not engaged and taking shots from artillery. What they should do is move towards your forces, where the artillery has to choose between continuing to fire on them and thus taking friendly fire, or doing friendly fire damage, or getting out of range of the artillery, not just running around in a circle. When beset, wait, what was it? When in deadly danger, when beset by doubt, run in little circles, wave your arms, and shout. That's what the AI likes to do when it's under artillery fire. Anyway, we're gonna speed up the rest of this, even though it is fun watching the bombardment continue. And most of those units should get caught. There we go, there's a few more shots from those artillery pieces, maybe one more volley. And Queek's in the middle of this as well, because obviously he doesn't care about the artillery, they're not gonna hurt him. A few Skaven slaves might die, but, you know, that's what they're there for. Ooh, some very nice shots. Lots of these hammers were standing in a single blob here, so that looks very painful. And yes, it's completely necessary to watch this. Yeah, but you guys let me know if you don't like seeing this. I know that they're just running away, but I just really enjoy watching the bombardments as well. There we go. Very, very nice. Besides, most of the time I speed up after the end of the battle. Yeah, not super accurate when there's very few enemy units remaining, but that's hardly surprising. That's what we might want to use Jezzails and stuff for. Anyway, we can speed up through the rest of that non-many enemy troops remaining, and this army should be pretty non-viable after this, and Queek will only have one left, and Karak Azul will be free. Queek will be needed in other places as well, so that's just fine, and ooh, it might also mean he'll be able to move in such a way that he can join quicker with the 2 units of plague priests that we have sent to him, which should help out immensely at summoning more clan rats, which do belong in his army. Alright, and not too bad. Queek even got himself a solo one-on-one duel with an enemy Dwarf Lord, which is very appropriate. He was able to use his Dwarf Gouger to great effect there. Very nice, very nice. We did take a little bit more damage than last time, but at the end of the day, the healing that we get from this is pretty good. So other than the Warlock Engineer, which is in this army temporarily, everybody heals up to full anyway. Or at least close enough to full, and Ikit, or rather Queek, was able to use his Scalm mid-battle to keep himself full health, which is great since we can't really heal up the single entities. Now one army remains. It would be ideal if we could ambush this army as well, because that's a lot of artillery, and I imagine that the enemy would win an artillery duel unless we pulled some sort of shenanigans. Maybe hiding in forests or something like that, but yeah. This is a very scary army to face across a regular battlefield, but not so scary in an ambush. Still, I think that we're good now, at least with regards to Karak Azul here. And I'm just wondering where we would send Queek. We could send him up north after we're done here to help out against the tide of the orcs that are probably going to move south, and the tide of the dwarfs that are going to move south, ambush them in the mountain passes here. Or we could move him out to start annoying Imric, who really does not want to peace out, though it looks like his armies have been very badly damaged. He is at war with Grimgor and with the Caravan of Blue Roses. It's actually shocking that he doesn't want to peace out, considering the situation that he's in, but hey, whatever. Oh, also, plus 69. Nice. How close are we to... not as close as I'd like, 72%. But getting there. Alrighty, where else can we ambush? I guess we could try Mutant again, but he's just not having the luck today. Alright, come on, Mutant. Nope, still no dice. Man, maybe his ambush chance is too low and he's not gonna be able to. If we had Lightning Strike, I'd fight this, but obviously without Lightning Strike, there's no chance. I know it's as close defeat, But the enemy does have a decent enough amount of artillery pieces, plus their artillery pieces would outrange ours. Though in theory we could kill them with Giselles, this is just way too many enemy armies. Retreat again. How many more moves do you have? I think he has maybe 1, 2 if we're lucky, moves left. I'd like to get at least 1 ambush going, because that's a lot of armies that are going to go in different directions. Speaking of those armies, you... Mutant, other mutant. The mutants should work together, so you're gonna go here, and we're going to try to prevent these guys from moving this way. I wonder if they can reach Verdanos in one go or not. And we might also be able to get some underway interceptions if we're sitting in Xerixil, because I do imagine that at least a few of them will try to move via underway. You are gonna keep recruiting. You, Mutant 3, temporary mutant. We should get you your points right now, before I forget. Warp Lightning, Musk of Fear. We can't get any use out of these guys. You do have Doomflare. Let's get you Inspiring Presence. You have 1 unit, but I think it's better off if we get... I guess either one of the big spells would work here, but we'd have to pick, because we have 4 points, so 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh! We'd have to sacrifice Inspiring Presence for that. Yeah, the thing is, how else would we be killing Arachnaroks? Oh, damn, I already accepted this, didn't I? All too late. I guess we could pay 1,000 gold to just reset this character right now. Once again, it's not like we're keeping him. Screw it. Yes, reset your skills. That was completely my bad. So we'll go 1 point in... 2 points in Warp Lightning, Musk of Fear. Let us go Death Frenzy, and... I don't remember if the enemy army has it. Wait. Reset again. Do you have any flyers? You do not. Okay, so Howling Warp Gale would not benefit us here. So double Warp Lightning, Musk of Fear, Death Frenzy, Scorch, Evasion, and do we go Crack's Call for more damage to the blobs, or do we go Flensing Ruin for potentially more damage to the Arachnaroks or to Grom? In terms of cost, they're identical. Crack's Call would help, but it really depends on Flensing Ruin. I generally am not a huge fan of the spell. Crack's Call could be really good. Honestly, I'd trade them both for Plague in terms of the other lore, but whatever. The armor reduction might actually help from Flensing Ruin. Yeah, I mean, 38 seconds of armor reduction. Let's try this. Either way, I don't think it'll make much of a difference, as in this army won't survive, but you never know.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, that's a lot of enemy units that Flensing Ruin would be able to affect, I guess. In fact, they don't have that big of an infantry blob. What's the defenses like here? Yeah, but it's all clan rats. They'll all just get terrified away. Anyway, who else do we want attacking today? We could do a Queek double feature and just finish off the Karak Azul dwarfs.
Queek.
I'm kind of tempted to do that. No, but if the ambush fails, then, well, we might want to back off. You know what? Let's see. Let's give Queek some points, since he has leveled up since then. He could actually get Quartermaster now. He could also get Warp Smart, which would help Warp Lightnings and Skaven Weapon Teams and Plague Claws. Yeah, okay, fine. Get 1 point in Warp Smart. You have all this stuff. We can make you a better fighter, but it's probably not super necessary right now. We just have to make sure that we have enough points to make you a crazy fighter afterwards. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd probably want 6 points here. So let's say 37. Well, let's say 36, 37, 38, 39, 4. All right, 38. 30, it doesn't matter. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and we'll have 1 point left over for probably Sneaky, or another point in one of these things. Assuming that you don't need any of these. Oh, well, Blastmaster could be useful depending on if we get any weapons teams here, actually. But we still probably want Quartermaster regardless. Scarred Veteran probably isn't crazy useful for Queek, though, considering the fact that his HP is actually quite low. It gives us, what, 300 HP per point? Not really all that much. Better off just spamming melee defense and healing. And we could skip Tricksy and Sneaky in favor of another point in Blastmaster so we could get 2. Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad. Alright, let's get 1 point in Quartermaster. Maybe we'll hold off on that last point for now. Alrighty, the rest of you. How close are you to your mount? Not yet there, but we can get you Suspiciously Loyal. So that's another 5% for Queek. And we might as well get Paranoid Defender and Bread Leader as well. Then you can have Foe Seeker. Alright, that worked out. Then, which one of you has training? You're at 3 and you're at... Oh, you both have training. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which of you we level first. And you have most of your good stuff, but you can get Blade Shield right now. Ooh, Mentor is not available. The other guy should have Mentor available because he's high enough level though. So 1 point in Mentor for you. You have Blade Shield, but you can go for Fervor now. Unlike most of the other units, the Fleet-Footed could be pretty good on these guys because they're already reasonably quick. Warlock Engineer. Oh, we could get to you, Flensing Ruin and Crack's Call. Ooh, increased mobility. Could be good as well. Or do we just go through Evasion and get one of the big spells? It's not like, wait, actually. You currently have, oh, we actually have 65 mana, that's not bad. Alright, fine. Evasion, let's get to you then. I think for this one we'll prefer Crack's Call, mostly because there's not a lot of single entities that we'd be getting a lot of value out of Flensing Ruin on, though minus 30 armor, if we're in a melee battle and engaged, might not be so bad. Nah, fine. Let's just get one of each. And 1 point in increased mobility. Alright. Our play claws haven't run out of ammunition, so we don't need the arms dealer thing. Alrighty, let's see if we can get another ambush for Queek. If it fails, we'll back off and we'll go for... Okay, yeah, that failed. Valiant Defeat. Okay, yeah. The game doesn't like seeing those grudge throwers, eh? Alrighty, retreat for a bit.
Not my fault.
You still have enough movement points to try like 2 more times. Now, oh wait, have you guys moved already? Ah, you have. I just wanted them to get closer, damn it. Okay, well, I guess it's time for Ikit to go then.
Chief Warlock, Ikit.
What's an episode without seeing Ikit fight? Let's go for after this guy. Doesn't really matter who we go after. None of them have any kind. Oh, and of course Ikit gets the ambush. Oh man, okay. Well, Ikit doesn't need to ambush, but it is great to watch him fight when he does so, so let's see him take out yet another army. Alright, another Ikit ambush, and once again, we can expect that this is going to be an extremely quick battle. It is the same map that we got last time, so we've deployed in a very similar way, though this time the enemy isn't actually protected by the pile of trees. Huh, interesting. It looks like the line actually starts... I think it started here last time, which is where we destroyed the Arachnarok and the Giant last episode, but this time they're all completely unprotected by trees, which is once again not going to go well for them. Obviously, we are going to gun down the enemy artillery piece first, followed by the trolls and the chariots and the and anything else that moves fast. I don't remember if they have cavalry in this army, but I think a few. And those trolls drop extraordinarily quick, damn. Oh, there's a chariot unit. Alrighty, and let's see. One of the troll units is dead, the other one's broken and at half HP, and the other one's in the process of breaking. A unit of goblin wolf chariots did try to charge in and got damaged by warp fire throws, as well as probably the Jezzails hitting them. Same thing going on over here. Wolf chariots are trying to charge, but right into the middle of the rattling guns to get it with those squig herders, or hoppers rather, neither of which are going to survive the bullet rain. And well, if it isn't some boar boys moving into the warp fire, but it looks like they're going to run away rather than proceed as well. Now, oh, and it does look like one of the enemy chariot units did manage to actually skirt the line of fire and move in and attack one of our rattling guns. I don't know whether one of the rattling guns actually died to this or whether it was a splash damage from something else, but we'll be sending our warlock engineer to help. We've also popped a death frenzy here, so that despite the fact that these are rattling guns and they are not going to do a lot of damage, we've buffed their melee attack up to 50. So it's not too bad, and they might actually be able to damage the chariots, and much more so when Ikit comes in to rescue the rest. Looks like the rest of the trolls are pretty much done, and oh, that's much quicker than... what the heck? I didn't mean to do that, but that sped it up slightly for a few seconds, and with that, that enemy lord will be dead as well. Just like the last time, he's going to try to outrun the bullets, and just like last time, I somehow doubt that it's going to be all that successful. Lovely. As for the enemy infantry line, they are still very slowly trying to get to us, but, well, let's just say it's not going to work out so well for them. The infantry don't actually have a chance to reach Ikit's line. It has to be only fast-moving units. And unfortunately, it looks like our avalanche mortars are firing on another unit that was damaged, but I'm sure they'll switch to these guys soon. And we've also got warp fire throwers to help out against the rest of the infantry as well. Very nice. So let's see what's going on, and it looks like Ikit's managed to chase off the goblin wolf chariots without taking too much damage. We got one unit dead on that unit of death dealers, which is perfectly okay. And all the infantry will die having crested this kill. The Black Orcs look like they didn't achieve anything. Well, I guess none of the infantry or missile infantry really achieved anything whatsoever, but that's par for the course for these armies. Oh, I love watching the Jezzails knock down the Black Orcs. They're so heavily armored, and they just get sniped every time a shot hits. Oh, lost your head there, buddy. Don't know how they're seeing what they're firing at through the bushes here, but they're clearly pretty effective at it. I want to see the Jezzails fire against, like, some, for example, high elven, high tier units as well. I'm sure we'll have to at some point. The elves will probably declare war on us eventually. Alrighty, well, with that, I do believe that's pretty much the rest of the enemy units that remained on the field. We're gonna chase a few of them off and get a few more warp fire throwers and rattling guns firing. Fortunately, once again, we do have the speed to actually at least somewhat move forward and catch up. It looks like a few of the enemy units will still be alive, but not enough, certainly, to make this army viable, and besides, even if it was, I don't think Ikit would care. Well, 5 losses. That's actually pretty good where the enemy is concerned against Ikit's army. That one chariot unit that did manage to charge in looks like it did some work. Actually, wait. None of the enemies actually got any kills, so the losses were then from friendly fire instead. Well, that's also not surprising. Alright, well, we'll heal up so that they're maxed out, and then we don't have to worry about them. Alright, that army will live, and there are other armies nearby, but we can ignore this one. It's not going to be strong enough to take anything, and that's over here, so we're not concerned. Now, one more time, just one more time. Mutant, come on, man.
Master engineer.
Ah, damn. I think that might have been the last time that we would have been able to do that. Let's see. He'll have 9 movement points left if he does this. And to move back here it costs, let's see, down from... how many do we have currently? We have 24%, 34. This would take us... it would cost us exactly 9... oh, it would cost us exactly 9 points. Maybe we have one more. I don't want to risk going into March stance, though. We'll see. But we won't see this time. I guess it will be... wait, we tried Queek, who couldn't work with that. We might be out of ambushes, or at least we're getting close to being out of ambushes. Cyprus could still try. I'm still a little bit concerned about his army type, though. And this could be okay. What do we have here? This could probably be okay as well. Yeah, they've got organ guns, and they've got gyrocopters, but the Jezzails can take out the gyros and the organ guns as well, most likely. Give it a try. And Cyprus also failed as an ambush. Uh-oh. If it was one army, I just fight it in the field, but at two... Okay, what about Metabol? We're running out of points here. Wait, can Metabol even move to these guys? Ooh, not a lot of points left after that, eh? Well, we gotta give it a try. And the army that we want to give it a try at, oh, interesting. Both of these armies have a massive amount of infantry, which this army wouldn't be as good against. If they had a pile of ranged and artillery units, we'd be better. Now, you actually have a decent amount of range, so maybe you're the one that we try to go after. Let us level up just in case, though. Tougher than he seems, Ratfu is not going to be all that helpful here. Crackle bombs might be worth our time. You know what? Fine, let's get crackle bombs. And then you, the assassin, who will continue trying to assassin. Get your counter striker, get to that assassin's trophy as fast as you can. And they've been doing a pretty good job at ganging up on lords and killing them. We've got Black Whirlwind, which is great. I think another point in Armor of Darkness would be, well, Then again, Brittle Bone. Yeah, you know what, let's start moving through Brittle Bone. If we could get the second level and get that increased area effect, then it'll be a lot more useful, especially against these guys. Alright, try this. You should get an ambush because you have a very high ambush success chance, yeah. Because this guy's sneaky, plus he has a hero, plus he has a... I don't remember if it was a defeat rate or something else, so this guy pretty much always gets ambushes. Anyway, one more battle. Here we go, Metabol. Alrighty, here we go with round 3, though I suppose round 2, specifically for Metabol. This should be a pretty darn fun battle. I am particularly excited about this one, as of course the enemy has a lot of melee troops, and this army doesn't have any of those artillery pieces to rely on, so we have to work through this pretty much the old-fashioned way, though of course as sneaky as possible. Black Whirlwind coming down, oh no wait, that's a Veil of Shadows rather. I wish it was a Black Whirlwind. Veil of Shadows coming down in the middle of the enemy formation just to essentially stop the Hammerers and the Iron Breakers from being effective for a little while and to screw up their formation a little bit, while we are going to move in our 2 units of Eshin Triads here to immediately charge the Iron Breakers and prevent them, hopefully, from getting those satchel charges off, while our Lord and Hero Assassins are going to move in and try to kill the enemy Lord as best they can as well. Additional Eshin Triads together with the Minotaurs are moving in to tie up and kill the enemy ranged line, while all of our slingers are going to try to focus down the gyro bombers, though I do really wish that they were Jezzails rather than slingers, but unfortunately Cyprus is currently holding the Jezzails for this army. And then of course the Death Runners in the background are going to hit the enemy, well, in the back, as they like to do. Alrighty, let's see what our lords can do here, or our Lord and Hero rather, our Assassin. Ooh, that's a lot of shurikens to the face there, buddy. And here we go, we've joined the battle against the enemy. We have debuffed him with the Rival Hide Talisman, so he is now down to 0 melee attack and 73 armor for quite a while. It's actually a pretty effective ability for Assassination in particular. Now, Metastorm, who is our regular assassin, has 128 magical poison melee attack, 75 melee defense, 500 weapon strength, looking pretty good. And then I think our Lord's a little bit weaker, actually quite a bit weaker, but he does have Weeping Blade to apply to the enemy, even if Metastorm doesn't, so that's fine. Oh, it's Metastorm and Metabol. Oh, I like that. I like that as well. Completely on purpose, I swear. And they've already got the enemy Lord down to about half of his HP, and will be less shortly. We've already seen them last time they fought kill one of these Lords, so I don't imagine they'll have too much trouble. Alright, here we have the Eshin Triads trying to hold back the tide of Iron Breakers and Hammerers. Of course, this is just going to have to be them outlasting the enemy as much as possible, though the Iron Breakers will be taking a bunch of shurikens to the back and sides from our Gutter Runners. We also have a couple units of Death Runners still waiting in the wings, but I don't want to send them right into the back of this blob of dwarfs because it's a little bit too many. Oh, and down goes the enemy Lord. Quite thoroughly assassinated by these two. Good job. I like to think they're brother rats from the same litter. Anyway, it looks like we did manage to take one of the gyrocopters out after about a minute and 20-ish seconds of sustained fire from the gutter runner slingers. Would have probably taken, what, 15 seconds from the Jezzails, conversely? But oh well. The death runners are now finally ready to commit themselves into the back of this Longbeard pile, as well as the... it's actually 3 units of Longbeards as well as a unit of Iron Drakes. Mostly because we need help here, as this is an actual melee battle that we have to deal with, and our assassin is trapped in the middle of this. He did have to move into the middle, sort of, to use his rival Hide Talisman as well as his Tormentor's Sword to debuff all these enemies, so he wasn't being hurt by them while all those debuffs were active, since the enemy had basically 0 attack, and would thus be doing very, very little damage. But now with the Death Runners hitting all these Longbeards in the back, I think we should be able to kill them just fine. Otherwise, the Minotaurs and the Eshin Triads seem to have cleared out all the enemy ranged units, which are primarily just bloody spots on the ground at this point. So well done to the Minotaurs. And now I'm thinking we gotta keep the Minotaurs around, not in the Clan Eshin army, of course, but we'll transfer them to another army and build something around them. Maybe even use some rat ogres as a sort of pseudo cav unit in that army. Like a mixed Molder army, sort of like half monsters and half storm vermin or clan rats or whatever. Unlike Thrott's army, which is just completely monstrous. To match Thrott, of course. Anyway, there we go. It looks like with that, the last of the remaining Longbeards are going to rout. The Death Runners and the Minotaurs have done their job, and Metabol gets himself another win. The units that took the most damage by far are the 2 units of Eshin Triads, which had to hold back the Iron Breakers, as well as the Hammerers out front, and plus one of our Assassins, or that's Metabol himself, got kind of badly damaged as well. He got a lot less hurt by the enemy lord. He got more damaged by fighting or helping fight the Ironbreakers and stuff. But what can you do? 5 ward save. Alrighty, well, once again, we're gonna be chasing enemies down. Maybe we can watch just one unit get killed here. Just to see how effective the Death Runners are chasing down Hammerers, for example. Huh, it looks like the charge of the Minotaurs quite a bit more effective. Oh, they also have that rolling animation. I wonder if all monstrous infantry have that. Because Chaos Spawn definitely like to roll as well. But I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen Crypt Horrors actually roll. I feel like they only smack things with their clubs. I'm not sure that they actually roll around like that. I gotta look more at the Crypt Horrors in the Vlad campaign now. Anyway, I think we can speed it up. The rest of the units should be pretty much dead, and this army is pretty darn good at chasing. In fact, despite its lack of artillery, this army is actually much better at chasing than the other armies, and will actually be even better once it has gutter runners with poison, rather than gutter runner slingers without poison and regular gutter runners. Anyway, decisive victory for Metabol, and a third army bites the dust, or bites the warpstone dust. Let's see how many armies remain, and how many more of these ambushes we have to do. Though clearly, if mutant's anything to go by, we're starting to run out of movement points. Alright, not bad. I am once again impressed with Metabol's ability to actually pull this off, considering the relative weakness of his army, but at least against these piles of ranged units, we were able to do fairly well, and then hold off the elites long enough to actually come in and kill the rest of them. In terms of damage, I'm very impressed with the gutter runners here, the ones that are chucking shurikens at the back of the enemy. I'm actually thinking that we probably will want to replace the gutter runner slingers altogether. These guys are going to be replaced by Jezzails, and then we can get 5 units of gutter runners with shurikens instead. I think the slingers are better for defending walls, but against most units, especially into the late game, they have too much armor, so that the slingers don't tend to have the ability to do enough damage. Also, both the gyrocopters got away, but who cares? We also took a little bit of damage on our heroes, which is kind of an annoyance, but oh well, we can eat the captives. And there we go. Alright, not bad. And we are in range of attacking... Spell shield. Of attacking Burnoth here. Now, we have a very, very high likelihood of succeeding in another ambush, so we could risk it. Or we could go into March Dance and go back to Karak Norn, but we'll have to decide that next time, as this is where we're going to call it. It's starting to look like the minor clans will actually be relatively inconsequential in terms of this defense, but the major clans, like Angrund, especially due to Mutant's repeated failure of ambush, and the Karazakarak dwarfs, because, well, we can't reach them, are going to be the bigger issue. So, bigger clans, bigger issue. It's almost as if it's by design. Anyways, stay tuned for more rats. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.